The film opens with Iris, desperate for money to support her sick brother, applying for a job at a restaurant despite having no prior experience. She is summoned to Dr. Barden's office the following day, who is treating her brother for bone marrow cancer. Iris arrives at the office and meets with Shepard, a seemingly philanthropic aristocrat, who offers her a deal and tells her about a contest that if she agrees to participate her life would change and that he has the financial means to improve her brother's life. Dr. Barden tells Iris that he was once the winner of Lambrick's annual event and that it changed his life. When Iris was about to leave the office, Lambrick gives her a card and asks her to RSVP that evening if she decides to join them. After she has left, Dr. Barden appears to have second thoughts about Lambrick's idea of Iris participating in the contest. Lambrick tells him that she is a perfect fit. Back at home that night, Iris receives a call while practicing French with her brother, Raleigh, telling her that she did not get the restaurant job. Out of options, she decides to take Lambrick's offer. The following day, Iris prepares herself and tells her brother that she is going out with a couple of friends and that she will be back soon. She waits outside the house as a car pulls up and takes Iris to Lambrick's mansion where she is greeted by the butler, Bevins. Inside the mansion, she meets the other contestants. Cal is from Seattle, Lucas is from Iowa, Peter is a high-stakes gambler from Las Vegas, Linda is an elderly woman in a wheelchair, Travis is a military veteran of the Iraq War, Amy is a self-centered bad girl, and Conway is a middle-aged recovering alcoholic. Upstairs, Lambrick prepares his son Julian for observing the game objectively as he instructs him to not touch any of the participants, although he may engage them in conversation. Bevins confiscate everyone's possessions before entering the dining room. Elsewhere, Dr. Barden packs a gun and heads for the mansion. The 8 contestants are seated at the dining room table with Lambrick and his son. Bevins and his staff attend the dinner service as well. Dinner is served and Iris raises her hand and tells Lambrick that she cannot eat the steak and foie gras because she is a vegetarian. To prove that everyone has a price, Lambrick convinces Iris to eat the meat for $5,000 and later increases it to $10,000. She gets convinced by Linda that it is a lot of money and eats it. Lambrick turns and notices that Conway is not drinking his wine. He reveals that he is a recovering alcoholic. He offers Conway $10,000 to drink the glass of wine or $50,000 to drink an entire decanter of scotch. After an emotional struggle, Conway drinks the scotch. When dinner ends, Lambrick stands up and gets everyone's attention. He explains that the participants will play a game of Would You Rather. Players are eliminated if they refuse to make a choice or to act on their decision. Each dilemma presented also has a time limit. Players in round 1 have 15 seconds to make their choice. After explaining the rules, Lambrick gives everyone an opportunity to refuse participation and leave. Everyone elects to stay. Bevins, a former special agent, enters the room with an electric shock machine configured with a car battery and head straps. Seeing the torture device, Conway tries to leave. Lambrick tells him that leaving is not an option anymore. Julian tells him that he has had too much to drink. Conway becomes irate, and Bevins shoots him in the head. To everyone's surprise, Linda asks to leave and Lambrick points out that participation is no longer voluntary. Bevins begins fitting Cal and Amy with the head straps. Lambrick then asks Cal if he would rather electrocute himself or electrocute Amy. Cal chooses himself. The head strap is then removed and fitted on Linda's head. Amy is then asked to choose between herself and Linda. She chooses Linda before the timer even begins and Linda passes out. Soon after, Linda wakes up as it's now her turn. She shocks Peter. On Travis's turn, he shocks Lucas. Lucas shocks himself instead of Iris and Iris shocks herself instead of Cal. Lambrick leaves the room to prepare for the next round. The contestants discuss an escape plan before Julian interrupts and starts berating the group. Travis stands up to him. Julian tells him that he made a big mistake standing up to him. Meanwhile, Dr. Barden arrives and sneaks into the compound. The servants begin to cover the dining room floor and walls with plastic. Lambrick comes back in the room and tells them that round 2 is about to start and it's given a 30-second time limit for decision making. As the round begins, Iris is given a choice between stabbing Cal in the thigh with an ice pick or striking Travis 3 times with a stjmbok, an African whipping stick. The group discusses that stabbing the thigh risks puncturing an artery. They collectively agree to have Iris whip Travis. Lucas is given a choice between stabbing Iris and whipping Travis again. After a discussion, Travis agrees to be whipped once more. Travis is asked to choose between stabbing Lucas and allowing Bevins to whip him. Travis realizes that he is being singled out because he threatened Julian. Travis chooses another whipping and comes close to death. The dilemma then travels to Peter, who may either stab Linda in the thigh or whip Travis again. Knowing Travis won't survive another round of whips, Peter tells Linda that they have to work together. He stabs Linda in the leg since she is paralyzed but pierces a major vein causing her to bleed profusely. Peter tries frantically to stop the bleeding with his belt. Linda chooses to stab Amy since she can't stand up to whip Travis. Linda later dies from bleeding out and is removed from the room. As the turn heads to Amy, she is told by Lambrick to stab anyone she chooses. Amy points out that the point of the game is survival, ultimately choosing to stab Iris. Agreeing with Amy, Cal's turn sees him choosing to whip Travis, leading to Travis' death, and he is eliminated from the game. Meanwhile, in the basement, Dr. Barden sneaks into the mansion with his gun. While Bevins and Lambrick are in a discussion, the players attempt a revolt. Iris escapes into the house during the struggle. Cal is shot and killed when he tries to attack Lambrick. Peter, Lucas, and Amy are brought back to their seats at gunpoint while Bevins and Julian search for Iris. Julian finds Iris in the basement and begins assaulting her. Iris fights off Julian as Dr. Barden arrives on the scene. Before Barden can act, Bevins shoots him in the head. Julian pleads with Bevins to shoot Iris for attacking him, but Bevins takes her back to the game. On arrival, he tells Lambrick what happened in the basement. Lambrick excuses himself and leaves the room. He returns and apologizes to Iris for Julian's behavior. He turns to the remaining contestants and tells them that Julian is forbidden from returning to observe the game. For the next round, the players are given a choice between having their heads held in a barrel of water for 2 minutes or the unknown punishment on a card sealed in an envelope before each player. Peter chooses the card. His punishment is to hold a firecracker in his hand, which turns out to be a quarter stick of dynamite. The explosive is duct taped into his hand. After it explodes, Peter falls to the floor and dies. Lucas chooses the card and is forced to slice his eye with a razor blade. Iris chooses the barrel and successfully lasts underwater for 2 minutes. It is then revealed that Iris would have had all her teeth extracted if she had picked the card. Amy decides to go with the card, but the card reveals that she has to spend 4 minutes in the barrel instead of 2. Amy drowns to death, mostly due to the start as she was opening her mouth to take a breath. The 4th round starts, with Iris and Lucas being the only remaining players. Because the first participant in the final round has an advantage, a coin is flipped and Iris wins. She is given the choice of sparing Lucas and letting the two of them leave empty-handed, or she has the choice of killing Lucas with a dueling pistol and taking the money to save her brother's life. Lucas attempts to talk Iris into sparing him and begins to tell her why he came into the competition. As he pours out his heart and compares the struggles of his family to Iris's brother, Iris suddenly shoots Lucas in the chest, killing him. Shepard crowns Iris the winner and allows her to leave with the money. On her way out, Lambrick tells Iris that they have already located a donor for her brother and his treatment is set to begin the following week. Iris returns home with the money and finds Raleigh asleep on his bed. She begins nursing the stab wound and then proceeds to shower. Afterward, she walks into her brother's room and notices that he is fast asleep. Upon further observation, she finds out that Raleigh has committed suicide by overdosing on his medication. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell.